Welcome to the Holy Bible AQ YouTube channel, where today we will explore the intriguing concept of the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. But before starting, I kindly request you to consider subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you will stay connected with our valuable content. To become a subscriber, simply locate and click on the subscribe button located below this video. Thank you for your support. The concept of the forbidden fruit has captivated the human imagination for centuries, representing the ultimate act of disobedience and its consequences. While the Bible does not explicitly mention the type of fruit consumed by Adam and Eve, various interpretations have emerged within religious traditions, exploring the symbolic meanings and implications associated with different fruits. Among the most prominent interpretations are the apple, fig, wheat, and grape. In this video, we will delve into the rich symbolism and interpretations surrounding each of these fruits as the forbidden fruit, exploring their theological, cultural, and historical significance. Let's begin with the Talmud, which cites three opinions on the identity of the tree of knowledge. Rabbi Meir says that the tree of knowledge was a grapevine, for nothing causes more heartbreak than wine. Rabbi Nehemiah maintains that it was a fig tree. The Torah tells us that after the sin, Adam and Eve knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves and made themselves girdles. Rabbi Nehemiah maintains that which caused their downfall was then used to rectify them. Rabbi Judah says it was actually wheat stalks. He bases his contention on the fact that a child knows not how to call out to his father and mother until he has tasted grain. As such, the tree of knowledge was actually grain. Next we will move to the Ben Ish Chai. The Ben Ish Chai, in his commentary on Genesis, offers an intriguing perspective on the forbidden fruit. According to his interpretation, the fruit consumed by Adam and Eve was a unique fruit that embodied the taste of grapes, figs, and wheat. This concept suggests a synthesis of these three elements within the fruit, carrying profound symbolic significance. Ben Ish Chai's interpretation suggests that the fruit consumed by Adam and Eve was a remarkable fruit that encompassed the taste of these three symbolic elements. It represents a fusion of sweetness, knowledge, and sustenance, embodying the complexity and depth of the human experience. This interpretation invites us to reflect on the interconnectedness of these aspects in our own lives. It emphasizes the need for balance and harmony, recognizing the importance of enjoying God's blessings, acquiring wisdom, and nurturing our spiritual growth. Ben Ish Chai delves into the Kabbalistic understanding of this integrated taste, unveiling deeper spiritual insights. In Kabbalah, the mystical Jewish tradition, each of these tastes represents different aspects of creation and the human experience. Now we will explore different speculations on the fruit of the tree of knowledge. The Midrash quotes another opinion, that the fruit of the tree of knowledge was an etrog. For the viewer who don't know about etrog is the yellow citron or Citrus medica used by Jews during the week-long holiday of Sukkot as one of the 4 species. Together with the lulav, hadas, and arava, the etrog is taken in hand and held or waved during specific portions of the holiday prayers. Another opinion cited in the Midrash is that God did not disclose the identity of the tree's species, and He never will. This in order to protect the honor of a species that would otherwise be tarnished, through no fault of its own. Once we have looked closely at the teachings of the Talmud and Midrash, we begin to examine different explanations related to the forbidden fruit. We not only explore the well-known connections to the apple, fig, wheat, and grape but also uncover a wealth of religious traditions and scholarly debates. Each interpretation reveals unique perspectives and symbolic meanings, enriching our understanding of this fascinating story. Let's explore the apple's prominence as the forbidden fruit. The Latin language plays a significant role in the association between the apple and the forbidden fruit. The Latin word, malus, has a dual meaning, referring both to evil and apple. This linguistic similarity creates a symbolic connection between the apple and the concept of evil or sin. The Latin word for apple, malum, sounds like malice, further reinforcing this association. Over the course of history, the apple has had a significant presence in different art forms, books, and religious customs. In medieval art, Adam and Eve were commonly shown with an apple tree or holding an apple in the Garden of Eden. These portrayals emphasize the cultural meaning of the apple as the forbidden fruit. So, popularity of the apple interpretation can be attributed to its cultural and artistic significance. The apple's visual appeal, linguistic connection in Latin, and its symbolic associations with evil and sin have made it a powerful symbol within Western culture. Despite the lack of direct biblical support, the apple's portrayal as the forbidden fruit continues to resonate with audiences, contributing to its enduring popularity. Next, we will talk about the fig as the forbidden fruit. According to Rabbi Nehemiah, who strongly believed that the forbidden fruit was a fig. He says that the reason for this belief is that the same fruit that caused their downfall was later used to bring them back to the right path. The Ben Ish Chai also mentions in his commentary on Genesis that fig is one of the three fruits associated with the taste of the forbidden fruit. Furthermore, the fig tree is mentioned in different parts of the Bible and often carries symbolic meanings. It is used metaphorically to convey spiritual or moral lessons, representing fertility, abundance, and the cycle of life. The fig tree's symbolism extends beyond its literal representation, offering deeper insights into the spiritual and moral dimensions of the narrative. In the story of Adam and Eve from the Bible, after they ate the forbidden fruit, they became aware of their nakedness. To cover themselves, they sewed together leaves from a fig tree. The mention of fig leaves highlights the significance of the fig tree and its symbolism in the story. It is often understood that they used leaves from the same tree they ate the forbidden fruit from. The verse mentioned above, Genesis chapter 3 verse 7, is quoted to support this concept that the forbidden fruit was a fig. Here are some additional mentions of the fig tree in the Holy Bible. In Mark chapter 11 from verse 12 to 14, Jesus approached a fig tree while hungry, but it had no fruit. He then said, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." The next day, the disciples noticed that the tree had withered from its roots. This event serves as a metaphor for the importance of genuine faith and bearing spiritual fruit. In Luke chapter 13 from verse 6 to 9, Jesus tells a parable about a man who owned a fig tree that had not borne fruit for 3 years. The owner wanted to cut it down, but the gardener asked for another year to nurture it. This parable represents God's patience and the opportunity for repentance and growth. In the Gospel of John, there is a reference to Nathanael sitting under a fig tree before meeting Jesus. When Philip invited Nathanael to come and see the Messiah, Nathanael responded with skepticism. However, Jesus later revealed his knowledge of Nathanael's presence under the fig tree, which led Nathanael to recognize him as the Son of God and the King of Israel. John chapter 1 from verse 45 to 51. Certainly, the fig has special meanings related to fertility, abundance, and how life continues in a cycle. These meanings connect with the story of Adam and Eve and what happened after they were forced to leave the Garden of Eden. The fig's symbolism shows the results of their disobedience and how they lost the plentiful and peaceful life they had in the garden. Next, we will talk about the wheat as the forbidden fruit. Rabbi Judah says it was actually wheat stalks. He bases his contention on the fact that a child knows not how to call out to his father and mother until he has tasted grain. As such, the tree of knowledge was actually grain. The Ben Ish Chai also mentions in his commentary on Genesis that wheat is one of the three fruits associated with the taste of the forbidden fruit. Wheat holds significant importance in Jewish tradition for various reasons, but its direct relation to the forbidden fruit is not explicitly mentioned in the biblical or traditional Jewish texts. Here are some reasons why wheat is significant in Jewish tradition. Wheat is one of the 5 grains, wheat, barley, oats, rye, and spelt, that are considered chametz and prohibited during the observance of Passover. During this holiday, Jewish people eat unleavened bread, known as matzah, which is made from wheat flour. Wheat's role in the dietary laws and rituals of Passover emphasizes its significance within Jewish tradition. Wheat has been an essential crop in agricultural practices throughout Jewish history. In the Torah, there are agricultural commandments related to wheat, such as the offering of first fruits, Bikurim, and the harvest festival of Shavuot. These practices highlight the importance of wheat as a staple food source and the connection between agricultural cycles and Jewish observances. Wheat is often associated with sustenance and nourishment. It is a fundamental ingredient used to make bread, which is a staple food in many cultures, including Jewish cuisine. The act of breaking bread holds symbolic significance in Jewish rituals, such as the blessing over challah during Shabbat. While wheat has its significance in Jewish tradition, the direct connection between wheat and the forbidden fruit is not explicitly established in the biblical texts. The identification of wheat as the forbidden fruit may be a speculative interpretation or an elaboration within certain discussions or commentaries. At the end we will talk about the grape as the forbidden fruit. Rabbi Meir says that the tree of knowledge was a grapevine, for nothing causes more heartbreak than wine. The Ben Ish Chai also mentions in his commentary on Genesis that grape is one of the 3 fruits associated with the taste of the forbidden fruit. Wine holds a significant role in Jewish traditions and celebrations. During the Passover Seder, it serves as a central element of the ritual. Additionally, on the joyous holiday of Purim, even those who typically abstain from alcohol partake in lahem to celebrate salvation, although the specific rationale for this behavior is not explored in this article. Interestingly, the scriptures themselves present a nuanced view of wine. While cautioning against the dangers of drunkenness, they also acknowledge its capacity to bring joy and gladness to the human heart. Psalms chapter 104 verse 15 states, "And wine gladdens the hearts of man," while Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 19 proclaims, "Wine gladdens life." Moreover, the Talmud, a central text of Jewish law and tradition, discusses the proper way to celebrate festivals. Within its teachings, it asserts, there is no true happiness without wine, Pesachim 109a, emphasizing the role of wine in enhancing the festive spirit and fostering joyous occasions. These references highlight the multifaceted nature of wine within Jewish culture. While acknowledging the potential risks associated with excessive consumption, Jewish traditions also recognize the positive aspects of wine, such as its ability to uplift the spirits and contribute to moments of celebration. It is worth noting that the specific justifications and interpretations behind these beliefs and practices extend beyond the scope of this video. However, they provide a glimpse into the complex relationship between wine and Jewish customs, reflecting a balance between moderation and embracing the joyous aspects of life. Further insights from the Book of Enoch reveal a section where Enoch embarks on a journey through a different part of the cosmos, specifically in the Far East. During this journey, he encounters the paradise of righteousness, and witnesses various mountains and trees, including one he identifies as the tree of wisdom. Enoch observes that the righteous ones partake of this tree and gain great wisdom. He describes the tree as tall as a fir tree, with leaves resembling carob leaves, and its fruit resembling clusters of grapes. The tree exudes a delightful fragrance that extends far beyond its immediate vicinity. He describes it as follows. That tree is in height like the fir, and its leaves, like those of the carob, and its fruit like clusters of the vine, very cheerful, and its fragrance penetrates far beyond the tree. When Enoch expresses admiration for the beauty of the tree, the angel with him, Gabriel probably, replies, "This is the tree of wisdom from which your father of old and your mother of old, who were before you, ate and learned wisdom. And their eyes were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they were driven from the garden." Chapter 32 verse 6. Some rabbis and scholars draw a connection between the fruit eaten by Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and the grapes used to make the forbidden wine that Noah drank after the flood. This connection is based on the idea that both instances involve the misuse or abuse of fruit, leading to negative consequences. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered inside his tent. Genesis chapter 9 from verse 20 to 21. By examining the story of Noah and the consequences he faced after consuming the forbidden wine, parallels can be drawn to the disobedience of Adam and Eve. Both instances highlight the repercussions of misusing God's provisions and failing to exercise self-control. The connection between the forbidden fruit and the forbidden wine carries symbolic implications within Jewish and Christian interpretations. It emphasizes the importance of recognizing the boundaries set by God and the consequences of disregarding His commands. It serves as a cautionary reminder of the need for obedience and self-discipline in one's relationship with God. In the New Testament, Jesus refers to Himself as the true vine, and His followers as the branches. This metaphorical language highlights the idea of spiritual nourishment and the importance of remaining connected to Jesus for growth and sustenance. "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes so that it will be even more fruitful." John chapter 15 verse 1 and 2. The symbol of the grapevine emphasizes the need for believers to remain connected to Jesus, the source of spiritual nourishment and life. Just as branches draw their sustenance from the vine, followers of Jesus are encouraged to maintain a close relationship with Him to bear fruit and grow spiritually. Grapes hold symbolic significance within the New Testament, representing the transformation that occurs through the process of spiritual growth. Grapes undergo a transformation from sourness to sweetness through the winemaking process, symbolizing the potential for personal transformation and the development of spiritual maturity. "I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me you can do nothing." John chapter 15 verse 5. The inclusion of biblical verses serves to strengthen and validate the symbolism and themes connected to the forbidden wine and grape symbolism found in their respective contexts. By referencing specific verses from the Bible, we can find support for the significance attributed to wine and grapes in various narratives. In another instance, the use of wine and grape symbolism can be observed in the accounts of Jesus' miracles, particularly the turning of water into wine at the wedding in Cana, John chapter 2 from verse 1 to 11. This miracle is seen as a demonstration of Jesus' divine power, and signifies the abundance and joy associated with the coming of the Messiah. The presence of wine in this context represents celebration, transformation, and blessings. Moreover, biblical verses like Isaiah chapter 65 verse 8 and Joel chapter 2 verse 24 further emphasize the positive connotations of grapes and wine, depicting them as signs of prosperity, abundance, and God's favor. These verses contribute to the overall symbolism and themes surrounding the forbidden wine and grape imagery, affirming their cultural and spiritual significance. By using verses from the Bible, these stories and teachings establish a strong basis for comprehending the symbolism and themes related to the forbidden wine and grape symbolism. They strengthen the profound meanings associated with these elements in their specific contexts and contribute to our understanding of their symbolic importance in religious traditions. The symbolism associated with these fruits delves into the depths of human nature and spirituality. These interpretations offer diverse perspectives and contribute to a deeper understanding of the biblical narrative. They inspire contemplation, reflection, and debate within Jewish and Christian communities. While these interpretations may not be explicitly mentioned in the biblical text, they have played a significant role in shaping religious traditions, artistic representations, and cultural understanding. By exploring these interpretations, we gain a greater appreciation for the complexity and enduring relevance of the narrative of Adam and Eve and the forbidden fruit. They remind us of the profound themes that resonate with human experience and challenge us to reflect on our own actions, choices, and spiritual growth. In essence, the interpretations surrounding the forbidden fruit serve as a profound reminder and call to action. They remind us of the vital significance of obeying God's commands, expressing gratitude for His blessings, and seeking spiritual nourishment through our connection with Him. By engaging in the ongoing dialogue and contemplation surrounding these interpretations, we deepen our understanding of our own nature, our relationship with God, and the choices we make. May these reflections inspire us to live lives of obedience, gratitude, and spiritual growth, walking faithfully in the path set before us. Thank you for your incredible support and engagement. We look forward to having you join us for our next video. Dear viewer, our videos aim to share what we have learned from our studies with you. We hope that these videos have been beneficial to you. We warmly welcome any suggestions or comments from you. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Stay connected by subscribing to our channel, and you'll be among the first to know when we release new videos.